Hello, my beautiful beings of light. Welcome to tonight's Dragonfly Workshop, where we are attempting to open your mind to new possibilities in consciousness. Discussion topics are open, but we do ask that you remain respectful and mindful in all your comments. Keep in mind, we all have an opinion, and you are not responsible for changing another's, only yours. To participate with your own comment, please use the raised hand symbol at the bottom of your screen. Tell us your name, where you're from, and try to be as clear as possible about your question or comment. For discussion ideas, visit our website and watch the latest videos, blogs, and podcasts at adragonspath.com/what we offer. Now let's get started. This time we'll discuss and understand the ultimate goal of being human on this planet. We'll look at the energy centers of the body and how they help us to achieve success in our life. We'll also discuss using conscious awareness to create our own path. Now let's get started. At the time that we were conceived, we were blessed with a dual nature, that of divine spirit and that of the animal of the earth. This is the nature of man. As we were formed in the womb, we were blessed with a heavenly gift. However, the spiritual gift went dormant when we were born. We had to focus on using our physical senses to make our way in the world. Our spiritual center sank deep inside us, but it's still there for us to use. And every now and then, there is a gentle nudging to reconnect with our higher spiritual self. But you must choose to call this power forward. You were given 7 spiritual energy centers that are spread from along the spine to the top of the head. In Kundalini, these centers are called chakras. The health of these centers make a difference in how balanced and joyous your life is. When you have healed and strengthened these spiritual centers, you are able to reconnect with the universal oneness and live as the perfect child of God that you are. The first 3 chakras lay the pathway to our connection to Earth. They have to do with our survival and how we express ourselves. The root, the sacral, and the solar plexus chakra, if healed and in balance, we have healthy relationships, thriving professional lives, and an abundance of love, prosperity, and good health flowing through us. If these chakras are out of balance, or we hold fear of our potential in any way, we tend to use power over others or become self-deprecating just to survive. The 4th chakra is called the heart chakra, and it's the center point between our animal instincts and our higher spiritual way of being. With a healthy heart chakra, we are able to use conscious awareness to achieve higher levels of consciousness. Conscious awareness springs up from the heart's desire to reconnect with the universal oneness, the heart's desire to reach out and bring joy to the world. However, conscious awareness takes active participation. The 3 remaining chakras, the throat, the third eye, and the crown chakra, require focused control and awareness of the energy that you're putting out into the universe. These are spiritual centers. Your actions and thoughts are a direct reflection on how your life develops. It is important that you become consciously aware of your thoughts and actions to have a successful life. Learning the 7 hermetic principles of metaphysics will help you to express positive energy into the world, causing positive things to happen in your life. When we were born, we found ourselves within a set of circumstances which offered up many trials and tribulations that we had to overcome. In many cases, we were empowered to boldly seek our paths to accomplish what we wanted in our lives. However, in most cases, we felt violated and victimized, and were never quite able to reach our goals or to attain our desires. Just know that these difficulties in your life are there to help you to grow. These difficulties are there to help you reconnect in your silent place, to call upon your higher self for guidance and comfort. Let us begin. Man's dual nature. Man has two natures, his spiritual nature and his animal or physical nature. This means that he can be as saintly as Jesus Christ one minute and as vicious as Charles Manson the next. You may call this behavior bipolar, but this is the dual spirit from which we come. As children, we were taught proper behavior, but our animal instincts still lives within us. Most of us have learned how to control this energy. As I mentioned in a previous video, your three lower chakras, your root, sacral, and solar plexus chakras, represent the energies of your connection to the earth. These three chakras control your basic survival instincts, your creativity, sexuality, your identity, and even your personal power. This earth energy is expressed through your ego, your personality. When the energy in these three chakras have been depleted or smothered in any way, the result will be fear, anxiety, guilt. You may suffer from obsession, oversensitivity, controlling behavior, or just becoming power hungry. When the energy in your chakras are vibrating at an increasingly higher rate, we demonstrate stability, vibrant health, happiness, joy, creativity, strength, courage, willpower, and self-esteem. The three higher chakras, the throat, third eye, and crown chakras, give us the ability to communicate only truth, to speak only positive words toward ourselves and to others. We use these chakras to develop the ability to use insight and intuition in our daily lives. We develop an understanding of the truth. This allows us to develop an inner focus of the ultimate truth. And when our chakras are not connected to the universal oneness, we are unable to express ourselves as our Mother, Father, God. So we gossip. We're critical of others, and we tend to talk much more than we should. We begin to suffer headaches, nightmares, and lack focus. You may even feel a need to have power over others. And the opposite could also be true. You become self-deprecating when dealing with more powerful individuals. The heart is the center point between the three lower chakras and the three higher chakras. When you move into the positive vibration of the heart, the fourth chakra, and you connect to your lower and your upper energies, we easily give and receive love. We have peace in our heart, and with acceptance, we begin to have compassion for others. It is through the love of the heart chakra that we are able to get our chakras in balance and connect to our higher consciousness. Through the heart chakra, our spirit energy is able to rise up and connect us to the universal oneness. Your thoughts and your heart energy is the power plant that designs and manifests your desires. By continually integrating the love and creative attributes of our Mother, Father, God will allow us to bring this energy into our relationships and into our creations on earth. We journey to understand our minds and its powers. Instinct is the natural inherent aptitude or general capacity that flows through each of us. Merriam-Webster defines instinct as a largely inheritable or unalterable tendency of an organism to make a complex and specific response to environmental stimuli without involving reason. Instinct is basic to all levels of creation. Minerals, vegetables, and animals all survive on instinct. Man who uses instinct balances it with reason. Self-preservation is basic and fundamental to our consciousness. The use of reason gives us the awareness to prepare and to balance our energies. Today, many of us just live our lives on instinct alone. We've thrown reason out of the window. Man is also given the free spirit of will. This is our spiritual self, the connection to the universal oneness, our creator. This ability to create, to express, is based upon the development of our consciousness. As long as the mind can conceive, so shall it be. Generally, what you believe is, good or bad. Man must bear the consequences for what he creates. The consequences, however, are the learning opportunities for growth, correcting misbehavior, and reconnecting to the divine spirit of love, joy, and harmony. The mind is the tool that we use to create our reality in this world. The mind is the mover and shaker for all you do and say. The mind is only limited by its current state of consciousness. The more your consciousness expands, the more your mind will expand. God gave you the free spirit of will to change how you think, to change your mind. An epiphany is only a change in how you look or perceive something. There need not be a change in the actual condition obvious to others. Your mind holds your truth. To change your world, you must change your thoughts about it. Let's look at a new paradigm. Our emotional stability, our values, and our experiences determine our understanding. By continually re-evaluating, we reshape our paradigm, and then we begin to believe differently. Our brains begins its programming before we're born. By the time we get here, we have tasted the food of our culture, felt the fears of this world, and even experienced the loves and hates of our parents. When we arrive on this planet, we are bombarded in sight, sound, and images and dangers that mold our idealism. Unfortunately, these ideals tend to be shaped by others, and this is the lens that we tend to view ourselves. You must take control of your mental programming in order to take control of your life. How do we take control of our minds? By healing your energy centers and replacing faulty programming with the loving and positive attributes of your Mother, Father, God, you will begin to emanate this love energy into the world and manifest it into your life. To take control of your mind takes work, time, diligence, and patience. But be at peace to know, however, that there are many books, papers, videos, and workshops that you can use no matter your development level. In the meantime, remember to love yourself as a child of God and send that love out into the world. Consciousness controls your world, manages your health, and manifests what happens in your life. We'll expand on the sub-levels of consciousness, the physical consciousness, and our spiritually conscious selves. We'll dig deep into understanding how our consciousness works together and how to reconnect to the universal consciousness. Let us begin. Our subconsciousness is our basic level of being, and at all times it does the work that you're not even aware of. This is what flows below the surface of the body and the mind. Your subconscious functions include pumping of the blood through the body, breathing and taking that oxygen through the cells, keeping your heart pumping, and even making and deconstructing cells that grow your hair, your skin, and heals your injuries. It is responsible for the inner cleaning of negative forces from your body and keeps you alive. What you hold in your subconscious also shapes what you manifest in your body and in your world. And this includes sickness, happiness, joy, and abundance. Your subconscious makes no demands, but responds to what you feed or program into it. It also holds your beliefs and your habits that you hold safe in your heart and mind. Your subconscious also holds your pre-programmed responses to events that occur in your life. Fortunately, this programming is contained in the mind, and we can reprogram the subconscious with regular meditation and affirmations. However, the real change occurs when we adopt new behaviors into our physical consciousness. When what we do is repeated often enough, they become habits in our subconscious. Our physical consciousness represents the awareness of our physical senses and our interpretation or perception to this awareness. Our thoughts are shaped by our relationships and to the things in this world. Then we determine how these things will serve us. Unfortunately, our physical consciousness is limited by our current state of awareness. The senses are how we view the world and our relationship to it. Our physical consciousness can only relate to us the effects of what we brought forth from our subconsciousness. We communicate with our subconscious selves generally through the ego or our sense of self-preservation. However, we can change our state of consciousness if we look at how something makes us feel or view things from the heart. This includes the relationship with our bodies. Our sense interpretations are based upon the health of the energy centers located within the body. Our physical senses are continually being bombarded with only bits and pieces of information. Therefore, it's only able to imagine the ideal of the information, and therefore must fill in the blanks based on what we hold in our subconscious. For example, if 6 blind people were placed around an elephant and told to describe it, each would describe a totally different idea of what that elephant was. This is what happens when you live by your senses. Therefore, the physical senses must be realigned with the spiritual for balance and harmony. When this is done, you can call upon the universal energy to help direct your life. We can control our physical consciousness and what we manifest into our life by controlling our thoughts and emotions. Our thoughts are filtered through the negative survival energy of the ego consciousness, your solar plexus chakra, and the positive love energy of the heart chakra. If your physical consciousness is controlled by your ego, you tend to view things in a me perspective. It is only when we connect with our heart chakra that we begin to see the us or the we in the world and begin to transform into spiritual beings. Our spiritual consciousness is the big picture of who we are and our connection to everything on earth as well as in the universe. The universal or God consciousness unifies all pieces of the puzzle. It connects the consciousness of all things at all levels of existence. The universal consciousness looks at the cause of all things and determines its effect based upon our intent, what we feel in our hearts. And this is what is created into our world. Every man's spirit is connecting with this universal all. There are fundamental laws and principles that control what we create. If these laws or principles are not followed, chaos will ensue. But you do have a choice in how you operate within these laws, but there are consequences to your choices. By connecting to this universal oneness and living in God consciousness, there is no limit to what you can achieve and how you can positively change your world. In metaphysics, which is the study beyond physics, looks at the 7 hermetic principles that is believed to govern the universe. I recommend further study on this topic for a better understanding. However, in metaphysics, like attracts like. In a nutshell, this is the power of attraction. And in a few words, the universal consciousness brings back to you in like and kind what you send out into it. Since man is made in the image and likeness of God, we're able to connect with this universal or God consciousness. However, to maintain this flow of positive love energy, we must be vigilant about the health of our chakras, the energy centers of the body. You must be in control of the energy that you put out into the world and the programming that you put into your subconscious. Through your thoughts and feelings, you create what you imagine, no matter what it is, good or bad. Our ego or physical consciousness keeps us connected to earthly or physical things. The problem here is that we look to these things, including man-made objects, medication, drugs, chaotic relationships to bring harmony and balance into the spirit. However, this cannot be. An ego or physical consciousness can only bring fear, judgment, envy, and allow shadowy or dark thoughts to roam in our minds. These thoughts come from our survival instinct. Based upon the fundamental laws of the universe, this way of thinking and feeling can only bring like kind in return to you. It will return in power and intent to how it flows from you. This is why you feel that you must protect yourself at all times or continually feel lack in your life. A heart consciousness flows through your higher spiritual chakras. It opens the channels of communication with the universal oneness. Heart consciousness sends love, joy, and harmony out into the world, and based upon the same principles of the universal law, the same must return to you in like kind, depending on your intent. To do this, to connect with the all, you must raise your positive vibrations and base your intentions on the love energy of the heart. This is the power of the universe. This can be done with meditation and reciting positive affirmations. But know this, my beautiful ones, through your thoughts and your feelings, you create what you imagine. And this is based upon your current level of consciousness. You cannot meditate and recite affirmations 1 minute and think your life will change, living in an egoic consciousness. God cannot be fooled. You must consciously practice these tools to bring this energy into your physical world. When these thoughts and actions sink into your subconscious of who you are, these affirmations will become the new habits through your changing negative energy into positive love energy. This in turn will raise your spiritual consciousness. Nikola Tesla once said, "If you want to find the secret of the universe, think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibrations." Here we'll discuss each with the goal to understand why and how to increase the energy of the heart. Our hearts vibrate at certain levels depending on its wholeness or the amount of positive Kundalini energy that it generates. To access this Kundalini energy or to experience the awakening requires that you clear or heal at least 51% of the negative energy that you hold in your chakras. We will begin to do this with the positive words that we say, the healing thoughts that we think, and by removing the negative energy that we send out into the world. Now let's begin. Your thoughts are vibrations, shaped into your creations and powered by the positive or negative feelings that you put into them. Your feelings and emotions generate the energy and the power necessary to draw from the universal all to manifest these creations. It is believed that there are 7 hermetic principles governing the universe in metaphysics. This is the study beyond physics. We're only going to talk about the first 3 here. The principle of mentalism, the principle of correspondence, and the principle of vibration. Principle 1. The principle of mentalism. The all is mind. If we are created in the image and likeness of God, we are all connected in mind. Your thoughts, your words, and your emotions behind those thoughts cause that energy to manifest in all things in your life. We experience each other in relationship. What you think, do, and say to yourself and to others shapes the energy that materializes as ease or dis-ease in your body, your life, and in your world. This means that thought energy, whether positive or negative, affects everything on this planet. However, as human beings, we were given the ability to increase this energy, or it will just lie dormant until it eventually is totally depleted. This energy can only be increased by being lifted through the wholeness of the heart. The positive heart chakra energy transmutes and changes the negative earth energies by filtering them through the higher spirit consciousness to be healed and released from your heart and mind.
This positive, loving energy will begin to flow through you and your relationships. You will begin to experience connection to the highest consciousness, that of the universal all, which is to live for the betterment of mankind. This is the very reason that you must heal or clear 51% of the negative energy to be able to access this powerful Kundalini energy. Once the heart achieves enough positive power, you will be lifted up to your own spiritual heights. If you aren't increasing the spiritual consciousness, you are just trying to keep your life moving forward, but constantly depreciating in your natural power, your internal fire, until it is completely eliminated and used up. Next, we look at the principle of correspondence. As above, so below. As within, so without. Basically, your outer world is merely a reflection or an expression of what you feel inside. Your physical expressions are powered by the energy that you send out into the world. What you think is what you produce. All that you do and say, powered by your intent, is the reflection of what you have going on inside you, in your thoughts. Thought is the realm of your inner self, your higher self. This is where you form your creations. These creations are molded by your thoughts and powered by the emotions behind them. Dr. Masaru Emoto was a doctor of alternative medicine from the early 80s to the mid-2000s. He did several experiments with frozen water crystals. After subjecting water to various sounds, words, and vibrations, he froze it, after which he photographed the crystals. Negative words and sounds made the water discolored, unsightly, and polluted looking. Positive music and words created beautiful crystals and was even able to clean up polluted water after it was prayed on by Buddhist monks. This is very important because our bodies are 63% water. This is why harsh and negative words create dis-ease in our bodies. Dr. Emoto did the same thing with rice. He placed rice in 3 separate jars with just a little bit of water. He constantly told one negative thing, such as, "I hate you, you're nothing, you're stupid," and that rice quickly turned rotten. One jar of rice he said nothing to, nothing good or bad, and it seemed to spoil at its usual rate. However, the rice that was told positive things like "I love you," "you're wonderful," etc., was in much better condition than even the rice he said nothing to. He also found that you didn't have to say it. Just placing a label on the jar was sufficient to make the rice either rot or last longer with positive affirmations. Now let's look at the principle of vibration. Nothing rests. Everything moves. Everything vibrates. Your vibrations bring shape to what you create in form and function, positively or negatively. This becomes your mental attitude. In cymatics, which is the study of sound patterns, sand is placed on a metal plate. It is then excited or exposed to various sound frequencies. What was found was that the higher the sound frequency, the more complex the sand pattern became. You can find all these patterns in nature. They seem to represent sacred geometry patterns that are shaped and flow throughout this earth. The Schumann resonance frequency is a measurement of the Earth's vibrations. Earth vibrates at a certain frequency described as a set of global magnetic frequencies naturally caused by lightning channels in the ionosphere. Earth acts like a giant electric battery outlet. Basically, the Earth's heartbeat. The Earth continually moves and changes, and its creatures develop higher levels of group consciousness. However, man with his dual nature was given the individual consciousness with free spirit of will to choose how he will experience our existence on Earth. However, man must live within the universal principles, 3 of which we've discussed here. Negative energy blocks the flow of inner growth and expansion, and it also breaks the connection to the universal oneness. Positive energy is able to reconnect with the universal all. allowing this love and life energy to lift man from his simple consciousness to his super consciousness, reconnecting man's earthly and spiritual natures.